I'm sitting in my chair late at night, watching crime unfold under the pale moonlight. From the darkest corners, stories unfold. True crime jewels, she's brash and she is bold. On the YouTube screen, we're digging deep into the mysteries that never sleep. From missing kids in Tennessee to angry husbands named Barry, true crime's calling, and we're taking the time. So grab a seat, don't miss a beat. This true crime jewel's got what you need. From missing people to twisted minds, we're unraveling secrets old Barry tried to hide. Every clue, every twist and turn. In the world of crime, there's always more to learn. On the YouTube screen, we're digging deep into the mysteries that never sleep. From Christopher's anger to Stephen Fisher's lies, the truth is calling and justice won't be denied. So grab a seat, don't miss a beat. True crime jewels on the YouTube streets. Lights are low, suspense is high. We're chasing truth, we spot every lie. Step into the darkness, hold on tight. Two flashlights out there in the dead of night. On the YouTube screen, we're digging deep. Barry Morphew's case is hot. A boy in Tennessee won't be left behind. From the coldest cases to the ones that shine, true crime's calling, and we're taking the time. So grab a seat, don't miss a beat. This true crime jewel's got what you need. We're always watching Barry and waiting for the truth. In the world of crime, we discuss the proof. So hit that play and join the true crime journey with Jewels of Thought and her gemstone family.
All right, everybody. Well, that was a nice little relaxing little afternoon break, right? If you work for the United States government, you probably take an afternoon break. That was a nice little song to help you relax after your very difficult work day that you're struggling to get through. All right, now then, we're going to talk about a couple of things, okay? I do want to remind you, please hit the thumbs up so you can get your number, put your number into the chat. And then I'm going to use your number with your name to do a drawing for a very nice gift. And you guys know what it is. All right, now then. So there's two things that I want to do today. One of them is I want to talk about this new photograph that's been put out there regarding Sebastian Rogers, February the 26th, 3:07 a.m. I want to talk about that for just a moment. Hey, Joseph Rapp, thank you, Castle. Thank you so much. Trishy, NH Girl, Susan Kemp, thank you so much. Darlene, thank you. And so we are going to look at the picture first. Thank you, Sky Maiden, Teresa, Brown Eyed Girl. And then we're going to listen to an interview that I've never seen before. And I believe, well, I'll talk about that when we look at it. So the first thing I want to do, let me go over to the right page here. Give me a moment, please. All right. So this is the new picture, right? So let me get to the editing. Hold on. All right, now then. Okay, so this is the picture that we've been given. Actually, I've got to erase this one as well. Okay, so this is the picture we've been given, correct? And what you're looking at the backyard of the house on, is it Kylan? Is that how you pronounce it? Or Keelan? And you're looking back through two white buildings, or one white building back into the Proudfoot home. And there's a little bit of confusion about the Proudfoot home. This is actually the Proudfoot home right here that has the pink window here. None of this over here matters. That this is actually inaccurate. Okay, so don't worry about the green, yellow, and blue house line. None of that matters. I've been through this for hours. Doesn't matter. What you're looking at right here, this is the edge of the Proudfoot home. This is their driveway right here. And if you were to walk out toward that tree or that car, you would be looking at the garage side of their house. Okay, so just try to be clear. So the pink window that is all the way here to the left, that pink window is actually Katie Proudfoot's bedroom, right? There is right here along where the yellow scribble line is, that is a white drain, like from the things to catch the water along the house line. So that drains off here, the gutters drain off here, and then down into, the grass or whatever. So here is her bedroom. Here is the runoff, the gutter into the rain runoff. And then if you were to be able to see the side of this building, you would see about 12 feet of just solid brick. And then you would see the garage doors. Everybody clear? All right. Also, let me turn this back on. Hold on. Okay. Let me get it back in order. All right. So you're going to see, but basically you've got to imagine that that's the window right there. Everybody with me? So that would be the window. There's the gutters with the runoff drain here. All right. This is Katie's room. Right here is probably maybe, I don't know. I didn't look at the house plan, but this is her room right here. Here's a door into the garage, and then here are the two actual garages. Now, let's see. So also notice the important part. Let me try to get this a little bit smaller so it makes sense. And of course, none of this is coming from the same camera. So you got to kind of manipulate it in your mind. You've got to kind of move some of this so that it makes sense. But more or less, that's what you're looking at right there, right? And so their driveway, if you look at my cursor, their car would go out of the driveway and then whip around and then back into the street. Okay. All right. Makes sense now. Yes. Okay. So these are what I'm using here. This picture came from Google Maps. This is a picture that was taken like in the couple of days, like after Sebastian went missing. I can't find a version of it not marked up. And the home that these pictures were originally taken from, it's now been blurred out on Google, so you can't access it anymore. Now then, the new picture, so let me kind of get this at least a little close. Okay, so that kind of reminds you about what we're looking at, but we're definitely at a different angle, which matters. Okay. Now, this is the new picture. Of course, it was put out by SF Investigates. God help us. Okay. I am of the opinion this man has lied about so many different things. It is going to be very difficult that I would ever find myself foolish enough to believe anything he says. Sincerely, he is absolutely misleading people. He's intentionally putting out bad information. And so I was looking at this photograph that he put out of the backyard, and I just thought, okay, SF, what are you up to? Because this is BS. Nobody believes your foolish tales. And so what have you given to us, right? So this big white blob that you see here, this is a flag, a pixelation flag, right? It's there to obscure what you're looking at. And you think, well, why do you care? Because if this is in fact what you're telling us that it is, then this is Katie's bedroom window. And then you see this part right here? That's the long 12-foot expanse of solid brick. And then you've got the garage doors here and here. Okay. So we can see it. It's easy to see. Now, the problem is people have been picking this apart and they've been saying, okay, what is this? What are we looking at? Is it authentic? And let me just show you this real quick. So this building, I've got it pretty close. The edges, the bottom, the door, the window. Because we're on a different angle, it's not going to be a perfect match, but the edges are really, I'm super close. See that? Super, super close. See there? Very close. Even look at the roof line. You can see the roof line is really, really close. There's your door. And there's your back window right there. So it looks like to me, looking at the disruption in the angle, it looks like where this picture was taken from, it looks like it's more toward the right and up. So maybe the edge of the house. And that's one of the reasons why we got a little bit of a disruption in the angle and the size. Okay, so I'm going to go back out here. So what the big discussion is this Katie's bedroom window, right? Is that the light coming from her bedroom window? Even though we've got this white pixelation flag that is obscuring the view, is this the actual window where, all right. Now, one of the problems, let me remind you about this. You see how you can clearly see the side of the garage here. You don't have that in this picture. In this picture, it's like you're further like out here instead of back over here. So you're getting a much sharper angle. You're not seeing this big wall looks really short and attenuated. So we're looking at, if we use the drain as the, there's the drain right there. If we use the drain as a pretty good like marker, and remember, if we were higher, the drain would look lower, right? So if we just split the difference between the two, we're somewhere around there. And then here's your, it's so hard to do because it's such a attenuated angle. Okay, now then, I kept looking at, let me lighten this a little bit. Okay. I kept looking at this weird thing right here, and I kept thinking, what is it? Is it like a trash can? Is it something hanging over the fence? Like, what could it be? And so when I used the picture from Google Maps, it is dead on perfect. It's a bush. It's a shrub right there along their fence line. Right? It's of all the things that are on this, comparing these three pictures, this one seems to fit the best. So that is very interesting. You've got these lights shining, and then when you look up here, you see here and here, there's actually two floodlights. So it does look like the floodlights are on or were on and are hitting this plant right here. Now, one of the reasons that this is really causing quite a discussion and why people are so interested is the following. This, according to SF Investigates, this is in fact a photograph, this white, very, very blurry one here. This is actually a picture from February the 26th at 3:07 a.m. 3:07 a.m. when Katie is supposed to be fast asleep. And apparently she was not. Now that we know that this picture is actually accurate, I kind of thought in the beginning, I thought maybe SF just made like a compilation picture and this is all just nonsense. It's not even real. Okay, well, I've worked on this today. No, I believe it to be real. And I don't know what's wrong with SF. Maybe he's got an alcohol problem. Maybe he's got a drug problem. But why would he publish something that is going to dramatically hurt his client, right? So we know the drain pipe is there, right? We know that we've got this 12-foot expanse before we get to the doors of the actual garage. And so we know that our window here is really, really close. It does seem like the light is perhaps a light that's shining from the floodlights, or maybe it's a light shining from a car. In this picture right here, there is clearly a car that is backing up in the driveway. How crazy is that? Why would he post this? So this is just an old picture that was taken a couple of days after Sebastian went missing, and I don't know who took it. I don't know where it came from, but it's the back of the house. This is the new picture that he just posted several days ago with this big argument and such. And this is a picture that I got off of realtor.com. And there's the lights shining on the bush. So is it a car backing up, shining on the bush? Is it the floodlights at the corner? I don't know. But you can also see not only the light shining in the bush, but there's also some of the light on the ground. That's one of the things that makes me think that the floodlights were on and shining here. Why is this a big problem? Why is it of note? It's of note because Katie claimed that she went to bed at 12 o'clock that she went to sleep. She did not hear anything the rest of the night, and that Sebastian went missing sometime in the morning. We've got a car sitting there at sometime around 3:15, and we've got flashlights leaving this backyard right here, what we're looking at, leaving this backyard, walking toward the car. That's why it's of interest, y'all. That's why it's important. The information has already been sent to TBI. So the FBI has this. They understand what they're looking at, and that it came from SF Investigates. And then so I think right there, if we don't hear anything else about this, just showing that Katie was awake at 3 a.m. and it does appear that there are floodlights that were triggered, motion sensor lights that were figured in the backyard, literal minutes before those flashlights are seen, walking through the backyard from right this backyard, walking through the backyard and heading toward the car, right? This is so critical, so critical. But then if you ignore the lighted bush, and again, I don't know what's wrong with SF Investigates. Maybe he got into an argument with Christopher Proudfoot. Maybe they're on the outs. Maybe SF Investigators said, you're on your own, buddy. I'm done here. I don't want to have anything else to do with you. But whatever it was, look at the figure in the white shirt right here. There's a figure walking in the white shirt, and you can see the shadow against that brick wall that is Katie's bedroom. Just as plain as day. So it's a pretty damning set of pictures. It's pretty uncomfortable, right? All right. So I wanted to put that out. I sat and worked on it all day today to try to make sense of what we were looking at, and that is what we're looking at. Okay. I happen to think these lights are from these floodlights. That's what I think. All right. Okay. And I've got this, you're looking through both pictures. Like that's the solidrealtor.com picture. That is just the blurry picture that Stephen Fisher put out. And then that's a manipulation of both. And when you do it that way, you can see, look, there's the light right there. Goes in both directions into the backyard and the side yard. And it shines right down there on the bush and also into the grass. So I think movement triggered those floodlights. Okay. All right. Let me peek over at you guys. Any kind of comments? Hey, Michelle, thank you. Judy Albert, welcome. Zoots and Boots. I'm in between sad for Stephen's stupidity, but also grateful for his idiocy. Barna Honey, they must be getting nervous. Jana, thank you. Number 110. Mischief all around me. Reality wins. I had a thought. What if SF is looking to try to get the reward money from the FBI? Don't be shocked by that thought, Mischief. He does seem to follow behind people that are really searching and scoop up the reward money at the last minute. AWP, Kylie Rodney, Exhibit A. Correct? So mischief all around me. Wouldn't be surprised about that at all. None. If you look at the enhanced light video walking back to the house, there is actually two people walking back, not one. One is just a bit ahead of the other. Are you looking at the one where he accounts for the kitchen window? Because Pincho did account for the second window that's on the house. If he does, I'm sorry, I can't read that. At mischief, if he does something, GE knew all along where Sebastian was. Oh, I definitely think they've known where he is. All right. Okay, so kind of interesting, right? Interesting picture, and even more than the picture, pretty damn interesting. What the hell was he thinking? Why would he release that picture? And wouldn't it be fun to ask that to Christopher Proudfoot? Wouldn't that be interesting? I've got another little picture to show as well. Hang on just a second. Let me put it up. 1 second. Okay, so this, you're going to notice, so this is the oops. There we go. Sorry about that. Okay, so this is the side of the Proudfoot home, right? This is Katie's bedroom, this wide expanse of brick. This is Katie's bedroom. Here's the door going into the garage and the 2 garage car doors. Here's the gate. This listing was put up before the house belonged to Katie and Christopher Proudfoot. Now there is a bush right here, but you can still see the floodlights up here. And what we're looking at, we're looking from back over right here is about where the security camera is that took that picture I was just showing you. So right past this white building right here into the Proudfoot yard is what we were just looking at. All right. You can see it's a double gate, so easy to get in and out, of the backyard. It's pretty interesting. There was something else. Let's see. Hang on just a second. Okay. I don't have enough time to do all this at one time. Okay, so what we were just looking at, the picture would have been taken like somewhere here, correct? Because this is the White House right here. This is the White House. The picture would have been somewhere over here looking this direction, which is why in the new picture, we can't see the side of the house. The angle's coming like this way. And I'm overcorrecting just so that you can understand what I'm talking about. It's coming this way. If they had taken the camera picture from here, then maybe we could have seen some of the garage. But the way it is, it's real. The angle is not right. And therefore, we're not going to be able to see these houses back over here. So I don't know why a lot of people are saying, no, that's not Katie's bedroom. That's the lights from across the road. No, you're absolutely wrong about that. Look at the trajectory on that picture. It's impossible. You get just the side and it's being blocked out. It's being blocked out by the angle of line of sight. And the plant that's got the light shining on it would have been easily seen, but then there's nothing seen after that. You don't get to see the side of their house, the garage side, like what's up here. You don't get to see that part. All right, so that is done. So I'm going to kill that off right there. Seth could file a civil suit to have them deposed. It was off the garage, not the back porch. It was off the white garage reality wins. SF relies on the average person's ignorance for funding and legitimacy. I don't think he's legitimate, though. I think it's silly the way people are kind of look like worshiping him, right? It's really weird that anything he says they believe, and yet how many lies have we caught him in? Like, it's crazy how many times he's lied, and even Laura Lodge pointed out the lies, and yet there's people that just can't wrap their mind that this man is not who he claims that he is. He is not working for truth. He's working to see what the police have collected against Katie and Christopher Proudfoot. But people can't, they are all in on SF. They think he's the greatest thing ever. And the truth is, he's really lied and misled a lot of people. He blocks everyone so you cannot show proof, disagree, or debunk him. I totally agree, Dirty Scoop. And the issue is that I believe, it's my opinion, I believe he is intentionally misleading. He's doing it on purpose, right? So, hey, Tiffany Crockett, welcome. So yeah, I mean, I think his motives are far more sinister. I think he makes his money in a way that is a little disconcerting, in my opinion. I sure wouldn't be believing anything he put out, not anything. So SF is the only person searching. Okay, Nicole. Changed your name there, huh? Okay. I mean, yeah, I do think he's in it for money, and I think a lot of people do what they do for money. I think it's not very many people that do things out of the goodness of their heart. But you can still be ethical and honest working for money, right? We all need money to live. We need to be able to buy groceries. We need to be able to pay our rent. And so I don't have a problem with him making money per se, but I do think that it is highly, highly questionable that the man cannot tell the truth at all. How many channels do we have now coming out showing real proof that SF is not telling you guys the truth? And you've got people like Nicole. Nicole is like a cult member. She is so deeply invested in SF Investigates, she cannot accept the lies. Even though the truth has been shown, even though the facts are out there, you've got real scientists that are putting information out there, and still she's not going to be able to do that. All right. I do believe the picture, but with some modification, Cinnamon, I don't think you can see past this to the other house. That's number one. And I think that without a doubt, that is definitely Katie's bedroom window that is lit. And I definitely think that we can see a person in a white t-shirt walking on the side of the house. Absolutely believe that. I think so too, Tiffany. I'm totally with you on that. Totally. I don't watch SF, just seen him a couple of YouTube channels, and that was enough. Yeah, Michelle, he's a trip. Like, he makes me, something is not okay with him. Is Nicole one of Cluminati's buddies? Is that where it comes from? All right. Okay, so now we're going to shift gears, if you will. Nicole will probably have to leave because she's probably going to get nauseated and get a headache and get overwhelmed and overcome with anxiety. And that's okay. Nicole, you'll feel better if you go out and do like a quick little 30-minute walk. Do some diaphragmatic breathing. You'll be okay. Don't worry about it. Stick your video game in. Start playing your video game. You'll forget all about me and my videos. Get you so upset. All right. Now then, I think this is fascinating. And I'm going to ask you guys, have any of you seen this? Because I myself have not. He sued innocent people in the past. He completely, his approach with AWP was so unethical and such a pile of manure. He used Jared's behavior to attack the two men that found Kylie Rodney. Jared wasn't even there. He wasn't even working the case. It was Doug and Nick. So I think that's how SF interfered with them receiving the reward money, because they absolutely should have received it. They did, in fact, find Kylie Rodney. They did. They should have received it. And people want to talk about what a bad person that Ryan is. And Ryan Upchurch actually gave a $100,000 car to Doug and Nick because SF interfered with them getting the reward money. Ryan Upchurch did that. He gave away his Hellcat, which was modified and upgraded. He gave that to them as a payment for what they did finding Kylie Rodney. And then again, SF investigates. He's always the one that's at the heart of these smear campaigns. He smeared AWP, and then he smeared Ryan Upchurch. And the reality is, not a single one of us would turn around and let go of $100, much less $100,000, to someone that you're not related to, someone that you don't have any responsibility for, but making good on a promise. If you find that missing person, you're entitled to that reward money. And Ryan Upchurch showed what he's really made of. That's the truth. So I also think he went a little far with some of his antics. He said some things I wish he hadn't said. He's definitely paid the price for that. But he definitely put his money where his mouth is, right? Definitely. And exactly, you can thank SF Investigates. Ryan is like, hell no, I'm not doing anything. I'm not paying money. I'm not helping with any missing kids because you guys are crazy. So SF Investigates has done a lot of damage to the true crime community, and he's done a lot of damage to good people that are willing to help find these missing people. I mean, sincerely, what has SF done? Not a damn thing. But AWP, they were putting their gear on. They were going down in the muddy rivers and the swamps and the ponds, and they were finding people. They were answering questions. Not SF. SF is a disruptor, period. So thank you, Ryan Upchurch. I don't know if you ever come to my channel anymore, but if you do, thank you. Okay. Now then, Sarah Bagley, when you hit the thumbs up, it's going to give you a number next to the little thumb up. That's the number we're talking about. When Kylie was missing, SF was told to obtain the fire cams, but fobbed it off. He didn't realize what that was. He still doesn't. He reflects CP well. Oh, yeah. Christopher Proudfoot definitely found his soulmate. He and SF are like two peas in a pod, right? Shady fraudster. That's a good one. Sure. I don't have a problem with that. All right. So this is an interview with Christopher and Katie Proudfoot, believe it or not. And the interview happened March the 7th. Literally, 1 week? Let's see, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, 1 week after Sebastian went missing. Think about it. 1 week after Sebastian went missing. That is this interview. All right. Yeah, I've never seen it before. I think it's the Hands interview paper cut. Yes, I think you're right. March the 7th. That's right. They refused to go on camera. And so I think they filmed their hands all intertwined, right? But this woman is Caitlin Miller. She's actually the one that was doing the interview. And I love this interview because you see the reaction in her face. All right. So that's what we're going to be looking at.
Leads, nothing caught on video. Your son has been missing for 11 days now. How does that make you feel as parents?
I mean, I don't have words to describe how I'm feeling right now. I mean, every day is harder than the last. I mean,
okay. Now, right off the bat, we have a problem here. Psychologically, when people are experiencing an intense emotional reaction, their brain is churning out all these chemicals that make us feel really uncomfortable. When you find someone that's in that sense of survival panic mode, you ask them, okay, what's happening right now? Their answers sound like this. My heart is pounding. My hands feel numb. I can't stop moving my feet. My throat is dry. Okay? But because you got to think about this. You're in a fight or flight reaction, right? Fight or flight modifies bodily functions to increase your level of available energy so that you can run away or fight or do whatever you're going to do. And so you are physically different than you are when you're not in fight or flight. And that often is shocking to them. They're hyper aware. They have a high level of vigilance so they can feel every single sensation in their body. And she comes up with, every day gets worse. And right off the bat, I'm yelling, bullshit. You're a liar, Katie. That's not true. I don't know what the truth is, ma'am. But what you just said, every day's worse, that is absolutely not true. None of her answers go back to that state of hypervigilance. None of her answers go back to the physiological reaction or reality of what she is experiencing. It's really, really extraordinary. Uh-oh, where aren't we going?
his face fall to the bottom of I mean, we're out, we're looking, we're trying to make sure that everyone stays looking and doesn't let his face fall to the bottom of
How bizarre is that? Is that crazy? Her child, so she said 11. I counted the days from the 26, 27, 28, 7, 8, 9. That should be 9 days. I don't know why she said 11 days. But anyway, what are you talking about? You're trying to keep his face out there. What? He's only been gone a week, Katie. You're working hard so that his face doesn't fall to the bottom of the heap. What? What are you saying, lady? So far, listening to her, there has not been one statement. The question is, what's it like? Your kid's been gone a week. Not one single statement goes back to this very uncomfortable physiological condition of being in fight or flight and hypervigilance. She is babbling crap. What you're listening to, this is a real word salad.
I mean, I don't have words to describe how I'm feeling right now. I mean, every day is harder than the last. I mean, we're out, we're looking, we're trying to make sure that everyone stays looking and doesn't let his face fall to the bottom of a feed or get covered by some other nonsense. I mean, we just want our boy home.
When you walked in Monday morning, and didn't see Sebastian in his room, what was your gut reaction?
My very first reaction was, oh, he got up and got breakfast.
And she's
but when I
laughing.
realized he actually wasn't in the house, I've never experienced sheer panic in the way that I did. And basically for every minute since.
Yeah, I'm sure she is in a panic. I'm sure she is thinking about her freedom and what prison is like.
That not knowing where your child is a pain that I've never known pain like this before.
And walk me through the events that happened, from Sunday leading up to Monday when you didn't see him that morning.
Sunday, we were out and about. We had a really good day. We were out doing our thing, running around. We had dinner that evening. And when we came home, we had a pretty good evening together as well. He was playing right up until bedtime, and then some. I let him stay up a little late.
Have y'all ever heard that before, that she let him stay up late? That's first time I ever heard that. This is probably like the first interview done. Maybe it was the second one after Duchess. Oh, she's so calm, just Dawn. So calm. I've never heard her repeat at all, I let him stay up a little late. Never heard that. So strange.
And when I told him to go to bed, he's like, I love you, Mom. I love you, puppies. And he went to bed.
What about the bump?
I went to bed around midnight. Everything seemed fine. And when I went to wake him up for school, that's when I couldn't find him. He wasn't in his room, and he wasn't in the house. And that's when I panicked.
And when you panicked, what did you do?
First thing I did was call my husband, and I said, he's not here. My husband said, what do you mean he's not here? I said, he's not in the house.
Like she said, we asked questions like, where's he at? Check this, check that. And then we called the sheriff's department. I called the sheriff's department. I stayed on the phone pretty much most of the time. And then while I was at work, I asked for a relief, got a relief, got in my truck from Memphis and made my way to Nashville.
And that was, I guess, Monday?
The morning that he was missing, yes.
Okay. And so what was your reaction?
So he got in his truck in Memphis and made his way to Nashville?
Reaction when you got that call from your wife that Sebastian was missing?
Initially, I was like, oh, he's goofing around again. Here we go. He's like hiding. And then when we talked about the places to check and he's not there, I was like, okay, stop. Instantly. Call the police. Instantly. I'm a black and white kind of guy.
See as to what he was wearing when he went to bed, or what was he last seen wearing? What was he wearing to bed that night?
When he went to bed, he was wearing black sweatpants with white stripes down the side, and he had on a black long sleeve black shirt with a print on the front. I'm pretty sure it was one of his
like Star Wars or Halloween or
even Minecraft.
Yeah,
those are the three main things.
It's the three things that he's majority is on his clothes.
Yeah.
Boy, he has his flavors.
And obviously you guys are going through the unimaginable, and then, you know, getting a lot of like the kickback that you've seen on social media. I mean, how much worse has that made it for you two to go through something like this?
Honestly, we stopped looking at it. There's a lot of terrible people in this world, and I don't want to waste energy on any of that. I want the focus on finding our son. The facts are the facts. I mean, the police know the facts, and all I ask of anyone is, if they're able and willing, is to help find him, help spread his flyer, help look for him, call in if you know anything or see anything. But we just ask that people focus on finding Sebastian.
And he's never done anything like that before, right? Just kind of walked out of the house.
He's not a runner. This is not normal for him to run away. Look how
she looks at Christopher Proudfoot.
He's not a runner.
And any places, I guess, I know you guys have been told to stay in the house, right? Just in case he comes home.
We are doing what we've been asked to do by the law enforcement agencies and everybody involved. I am not going to divulge anything more than that.
Yeah. But what I'm trying to ask, I guess, next is, if you were to go out and search right now, if people want to help search, what types of places would you guys look at that he could maybe be at?
Anywhere and everywhere. At this point, it's
been 11 days. He could be anywhere.
Yeah, they've searched the woods, they've searched parks, they've searched creeks, they've searched. At this point, it anything and everything.
Anywhere that he could be staying out of the weather or getting food, or, I mean, honestly, at this point, he could genuinely be anywhere.
How hopeful are you two that he will come home?
I will never give up hope on finding my child.
Optimism is at its highest, regardless.
Our son is out there. We're going to find him.
And now publicly, like, obviously police are now investigating a landfill. People are speaking out about that. What are your thoughts about that?
Everybody has an opinion and their assumptions, and they are entitled to those. But as I've stated before, all we've asked people to do is to look at the facts, not what everybody's putting out there.
What's happening here, Christopher Proudfoot? Are you guys looking for a lost teenager, or are you guys worrying about a trial? What the hell do you mean? I just want everyone to look at the facts. Where is the panic? Where is that compulsion to protect your child? Where is that need to speak out to your child? Honey, if you ran away, please know we'll do whatever it takes for you to get comfortable. Please come home. We love you. We miss you. We can't stand it without you. Where is that? Where are the tears? They didn't want to be on camera. They're not crying. They don't sound like they're all tore up. This is so strange.
If they have questions, call the law enforcement agencies, and they'll give you whatever they can give you. But the assumptions are just that. They are an assumption, your opinions. We pray for everybody, for hopefully this never happens to you. And if it ever does, then you'll understand. But I pray it doesn't.
And they're doing their job. They're looking everywhere they can their goal is the same. We just want to find him.
If you could say something to Sebastian, if he's listening right now, what would you say to him?
I would say that we love you and we miss you and we want you to come home. And just know that we all care about you so much.
This is weird. The hands of the proud feet. What?
You're not in trouble. That door's unlocked and waiting for you to come home.
Oh, yeah, but you weren't there, were you? The door's unlocked, Sebastian. Come home. Me and your mom are going to be at the Yogi Bear campground, but you can come on home. You know where the sandwich meat is. What in the world is this?
Your puppies miss you. Your family misses you. I miss you. Just come home.
Wow.
Anything else that you two want to add or clear up or anything like that? Okay.
Just help us find our son.
Why don't you say Sebastian?
That is where we have Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth making some remarks.
Wow, that made me mad. I shouldn't have watched it. What was that? Yeah, why are you putting food outside? What the hell was that? Why wouldn't they want the camera on? Huh. But yeah, exactly, Tiffany. Exactly. Wow, that was one of the most disturbing interviews I've listened to. You took his snakes away. You took his cat away. Man, that is horrible. Me too, Tanya. I am blown away. Loving life, yes. I'm a little behind, but those comments she made about his face going to the bottom of a feed really bothered me since it was right after they searched the landfill. Yeah, just so. And did they even get choked up even the slightest bit when she asked about the landfill, that they were searching the landfill? Would you be horrified? I would be horrified if my child was missing and someone said they were searching the landfill. I would be horrified. I might get angry. I might order them out of my house angry. Oh my gosh, that was a really bad interview, y'all. That was a really, really bad interview. Wow, I hadn't seen it before. It's the first time I'd seen it. Man, that was just, how do you not even, yuck. All right. Well, I'm disturbed. So here we are. Me too, outdoorsy life. It would be a rodeo trying to keep me in my seat. Like we see with Seth, right? Seth just driven on the go. How do you just sit around? Oh, you went over to Memphis for 2 weeks. What the hell? I mean, Chris, in this interview, Chris says, "Oh, the door's unlocked. Come on home. We're waiting on you." What? 3 days later, you load the damn camper up and you take off up for Memphis. What if he came home? Man, I always wondered if they had facial bruises they were hiding. Very good question, human. Maybe. I mean, it's weird, right? Because it's not like they're torn up. They're overly emotional. They kind of want to protect, their visage. None of that. They were just cool as a cucumber. So why not have the camera on? They spent money and time to make Betty go away. And clearly, they didn't really know anything about Betty. Poor Betty's not going to just go away, right? I mean, that's not in her nature. So, wow, but we left him food. It's just amazing. It's amazing. It's truly amazing. Please, absolutely, Castle. We're shocked meeting these people, just watching them for a year. Seth has been dealing with this jackass, excuse my language, but he is a very unpleasant guy. Seth's been dealing with this guy for years. It's terrible. It's absolutely terrible. The fact they only wanted hands shown shows a lot, in my opinion. If your child was missing, you wouldn't care what you looked or sounded like. You just want him home to see your face. And Chris's tapping finger was odd. Yes, it was odd. Totally agree. And, I can't help but think, if I honestly thought my child was missing, okay, if you really believed that your teenager had run away, would you be dutifully answering questions by a reporter, or would you look into the camera and talk to your child? Like you would try to appeal to your kid, right? Oh my gosh. We're only 20 days away from the 1-year anniversary of Sebastian going missing. Yeah, it's heartbreaking. Really heartbreaking. All right, everybody. I do have something I've got to do tonight, so I'm going to have to go ahead and end this live. Thank you guys for watching this with me. Like I said, it's the first time that I had ever seen it. And yeah, it doesn't give me the warm fuzzies, does it? It's a pretty awful thing. Remember, if you came in late, if you'll go to the beginning of this video, I've put a picture up and discussed the fact that apparently Katie was awake at 3 a.m. on February the 26th, the morning that Sebastian went missing. And yeah, that's going to have to be answered about it. It also looks like the motion sensor lights came on and were shining down on a bush. So I hope you'll take a look at those pictures at the beginning of this video. Please, everybody, hit the thumbs up, get your number, put it into the chat. Also, if you haven't subscribed, I hope that you will, because I don't do video uploads on a regular basis because I do work a full-time job. So if you subscribe, then you'll get a notification and you'll know whenever I put something new up. Other than that, I hope you guys have a great Tuesday afternoon. Bye.
Well, I'm sitting in my chair late at night, watching crime unfold under the pale moonlight. From the darkest corner, stories unfold. True crime jewels, she's brash and she is bold. On the YouTube screen, we're digging deep into the mysteries that never sleep. From missing kids in Tennessee to angry husbands named Barry. True crime's calling, and we're taking the time. So grab a seat, don't miss a beat. This True Crime Jewels got what you need. From missing people to twisted minds, we're unraveling secrets old Barry tried to hide. Every clue, every twist and turn. In the world of crime, there's always more to learn. On the YouTube screen, we're digging deep into the mysteries that never sleep. From Christopher's anger to Stephen Fisher's lies. The truth is calling, and justice won't be denied. So grab a seat, don't miss a beat. True Crime Jewels on the YouTube streets. Lights are low, suspense is high. We're chasing truth we spot every lie. Step into the darkness, hold on tight. Two flashlights out there in the dead of night. On the YouTube screen, we're digging deep, bury more fuse cases hot. A boy in Tennessee won't be left behind. From the coldest cases to the ones that shine, true crime's calling, and we're taking the time. So grab a seat, don't miss a beat. This true crime jewel's got what you need. We're always watching, buried, and waiting for the truth. In the world of crime, we discuss the proof. So hit that play and join the true crime journey with jewels of thought and her gemstone family.